Hello everyone, Jason here. The show we've been waiting for has finally arrived. Ahsoka has hit Disney Plus. The first 2 episodes are streaming now, and I'm here to talk about them. But before I get started, as always, I will be talking major spoilers on the first 2 episodes, so if you haven't seen them yet, stop the video, head over to Disney Plus, check them out, then come on back, and we can talk about them. But now that we're past the spoiler warning, let's dive in, shall we? Any Star Wars fan will tell you this show has been a long time coming. Ever since Ahsoka gained such a following on the Clone Wars, continued her story on Rebels, Mandalorian, and Book of Boba Fett, everybody was hoping she'd get her own series. So when it was possible, we were really excited. I'm a huge fan of the Clone Wars. I'm a huge fan of Rebels. I thought that was a fantastic show. And to see those characters be brought into this show as well, it was just a dream come true. It's great to see those characters in live action. It's great to see those stories continue. Rosario Dawson, once again, bringing that same performance to Ahsoka that she brought in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. She's a bit more restrained. She's a bit more stoic than she was in the animated series, but that's because she's seen more, she's experienced more. And then, of course, with what happened with Anakin and Darth Vader, she's a little bit more reserved than she was before. She's probably taken on some of that herself, thinking that if she had only been there for him, perhaps he wouldn't have gone down that dark path. Natasha Liu Bordizzo, of course, perfectly cast as Sabine. She totally embodies the character, and I really, really believed from the moment we see her on screen that she is that character. Same, of course, can be said about Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera Syndulla. She brings that same warmth that Vanessa Marshall brought to the role when she played her on Rebels, and it just feels like a seamless transition. It feels to me like Mary Elizabeth Winstead has always been that character, but it's just great to see her in live action, and of course her banter with Chopper was a dream come true. Also, I'm really excited that David Tennant came back for Huang this series. He's having a big year. Return to Star Wars and Doctor Who. I mean, what more could you ask for? Now, Ray Stevenson, of course, playing one of the show's primary villains, Baylan Skoll. He doesn't quite play it as a villain. He plays it more of an anti-hero. And I think that's very interesting. Ray Stevenson, of course, played Gar Saxon on both the Clone Wars and Rebels, so seeing him transition into live action in this new role was pretty cool, and also he got a lightsaber. That was pretty exciting. Tragically, of course, he passed away prior to the show being released, and the tribute at the end of episode 1 was, I think, perfect. His performance in this show is pretty satisfying, and I just wish he had been here to see fans get to appreciate that. The action feels very much like a Star Wars movie, but there's also times where it feels like a samurai epic. You've got, of course, in episode 2, this starship chase between Hera and Chopper on the Phantom and a transport taking off. You've also got Ahsoka engaged in multiple lightsaber fights. There's even a lightsaber fight that Sabine gets involved in. They just felt really cool, and they felt like a Star Wars movie, and it's just so great to see more lightsaber fights in live action once again. Kevin Kiner, of course, returning to do the score for this show. He, of course, was the composer on Clone Wars and Rebels. He created a lot of the themes that are being used in the show. I thought it was only fitting that they would bring him in so that he could bring those themes back for the live action show. I thought it was really cool. As for the story, I'm really excited to see where things are going to go. I like the fact that this series is more serialized. Each episode feels like part of a whole thing. There are beats within each episode that feels like a beginning, middle, and end, but it also does feel like each episode is pushing towards its ultimate goal. That being said, I'm glad they released 2 episodes at once instead of just 1, because the second episode really feels more like the start of the series than the first episode does. It feels like the first episode has to play a little catching up with where these characters have been since we last saw them, and also sort of reintroducing them to newer audiences, but it doesn't really do a lot of hand-holding. You kind of have to go in here knowing who characters like Hera was, and Sabine was, Ezra, and of course Huang, and even a couple minor cameos like Ryder Azadi and Jai Kell. You'd have to have known those characters from Rebels because they're just introduced in kind of a way that's like expected that you know them. But it feels like the story, it's building to something greater, it's building to something bigger, and it just leaves you wanting more by the end of the second episode. I love where this show's going. I cannot wait. I'm really excited. Overall, I'm going to give these combined first 2 episodes a 4 out of 5. I thought they were fantastic. But that is just my opinion. Let me know what you thought of the premiere episodes of Ahsoka down in the comments. What did you like? What didn't you like? Was there a character that you were really excited to see in live action? I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like button. You want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can get updates on all my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, may the Force be with you. Bye.